Today, let's talk about the most famous Japanese swordsmith, Okasaki Masamune. In this video, you'll learn about Masamune's life, his blades, the legend between Masamune and Murasa, and Masamune's most famous sword, the Honjo Masamune. To start us off with, Masamune lived from 1264 to 1343. It is said that he lived and worked in the Sagami province of Japan. While living in Sagami, he studied under Shingoto Kimitsu. Kimitsu had taught Masamune the Soshu tradition for forging your own blades, and many more techniques. Now, after Masamune had became a master and he was able to forge his own blades and no longer needed to study under Kimitsu, he then taught his own students. He had taught dozens and dozens of students, and his 10 most famous students are known as the Ju Tetsu, otherwise known as the 10 Great Disciples. Few years later down the road, in 1287, he was appointed by the emperor to become the master swordsmith. After he was appointed, he then founded his own school known as the Soshu School Making of Smithing. And in this school, he taught the Soshu tradition and taught many other techniques he had learned. Now, Masamune's reputation for his katanas and tanto blades were quite high. His blades had superior beauty and quality. They were the finest that Japan and Asia has ever seen in that time period. Yet, Masamune had only signed a select few of his blades, and no one knows why. Most times, Masamune was compared to another swordsmith who lived 200 years after he did, known as Murasa. In the legend, it says that Murasa and Masamune were both masters in their own time period, and it also says that Murasa had challenged Masamune to create their own blades and see whose was better. These two swordsmiths had worked days in and days out and put all their blood, sweat, and tears into it. When it came to the day they were testing it, they agreed upon the test for them to put their blades in the stream, facing their sharp ends upstream. Now, Murasa's blade is known as the Ju-Chi Fuyu, or other words known as 10,000 Winters. This blade cut all the leaves that came by, it cut fish in half, and it is also said to have cut the wind or air that went by his blade. On the other hand, Masamune's sword, the Yawaruka Te, or tender hand blade, had just blown everything away. The leaves, it didn't cut the leaves, the fish swam right around the blade, and the wind just whistled by like nothing touched it. So this led to Murasa to laugh and mock Masamune. He said that his blade was superior and that Masamune, he failed in making the perfect sword. But Masamune just sheathed his sword and did nothing about it. When a monk appeared, the monk said, but both the swords were fine and they were quite beautiful, but Masurama's blade is bloodthirsty. It would attack anything that came in his path. It would kill butterflies as it severs heads. And he said it had like an evil spirit in it. While on the other hand, he said that Masamune's sword was like a Sararan warrior. It didn't touch the innocent. It left it alone, and if it deserved to be punished, it would. It was one of the nicest blades, and it was very kind. This led to Masamune, meaning that he won the actual challenge. Which leads us to Masamune's most famous sword, the Honjo Masamune. It is said to be one of the most finest blades that Masamune has ever crafted yet. It is also the symbol of the shogunate during the Tokugawa period, or otherwise known as the Edo period. The Honjo Masamune, the name Honjo got its name from the Honjo Shigetana general. It is said that he was attacked by the sword and it cut his helmet into 2 separate pieces, but it spared his life. Meaning that, just like Masamune's Yawarakate, it didn't destroy the innocent. So after the battle was over, Shigenata took the blade as a prize and he kept it from 1592 to 1595. By 1595, he then sold it to the Tokugawa family, and they had it since the end of World War II. When World War II ended, Japan had to surrender all of their weapons and all of their blades. It is said that they also left some of the sacred blades in the temples, but that was it. The last holder of the blades took 14 other blades to the Mijiro police station and turned over all those blades. And it is said that the Honjo Masamune has never been seen again. To this day, people still try to find the Honjo Masamune. Some say it had never left Japan, but no one truly knows. In the end, Okasaki Masamune lived from the 13th to the 14th century, and he created superior and beautiful blades. Thank you. And remember, smile on.